Hey guys, Heidi here. I'm going to be showing you mostly the painting today, so I will be popping in and out and trying to watch for your questions. But I'm going to be painting the Santa, kind of a vintage style. So if you have questions, let me know. I'm just going to be painting along, so I hope you join. And then again, my name is Heidi, and I teach paint parties, and I also teach women all over how to make money teaching paint parties. So I'm going to just paint this fun little vintage Santa and show y'all how I just used a board. So I prepared, it's basically a piece of plywood. That's all it is. And I just got this, like this size from Lowe's or Home Depot. And then I just kind of took a bunch of snow techs. I did a ton of like textures and different metallic paints. And then I just let it dry overnight. And then I just came in and kind of sketched this morning. So I'm going to just be adding a bunch of color to it and also tell y'all about 2 different giveaways, okay? So if you share this video, you get a chance to win a finished, this one's not finished because it's going to be customized for you, a finished truck and tree. All you have to do is comment shared and share the video while it's live. And then actually, if you're watching the replay, which some of y'all might be doing, a little bit later today. If you're watching the replay, I'll wait a few days until I announce the winner, so it'll give y'all time to share the video. So if you share it, you can do that. And then also I'm giving away in the comments this ebook, How to Throw a Paint Party, step-by-step guide. And all you have to do is click on the link and you can get your free ebook, and everybody is welcome. I'm doing that for the month of December. I was like, what can I give all of you awesome people who watch my videos and share everything? What can I give y'all? It's kind of like a Christmas present. So so that's for you. So that's for you to have. So go ahead and share if you want a chance to win the truck and tree. And I'm actually going to put your name on it too. Your last name or your city if you want your city. So I'm just going to take this Santa and make him kind of vintage. Oh, thank y'all for sharing. What color is Santa's face? It is, let me find that, Julie. And Julie, I saw your truck and trees. They were so cute. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. You did a great job teaching paint parties and the truck and tree. Okay, I actually used 2. Cotton Candy, Americana Deco Art, with a mix of coral shell and cotton candy mixed together. And you could add, you know, like sometimes when I don't have the colors I want, I'll just mix a little red, a little peach, actually red, white with just a tad of yellow to get that peach color. All right, thank y'all so much for joining. So I'm gonna make this Santa kind of vintage. Actually, I'm gonna go to a bigger brush. Sorry guys, my art studio is still in shambles. We are trying to salvage some of the wood that we pulled up, so my husband's gonna try to help. I've got to be out of town a few days for paint parties, so I'm hoping he does it while I'm gone. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna take a big messy dollar store brush with some copper, and I'm gonna just dip it a little bit in water. And I'm just trying to make him look kind of old school vintage. And guys, if you can't see this, let me know. Actually, let me know if you can see it pretty good. And this is all snow tex, a lot of texture on this puppy. And guys, if you've never used snow tex before, it is so much fun. And it's kind of, I say snow tex is the new glitter. I started bringing it to all my Christmas events, and people are really loving it. They're having a ball. It's like watching a bunch of kids, you know, it's grown women watching a bunch of kids just playing. Petra, oh, I love this. Oh, thank you, Petra. Yeah, I love painting big. And sometimes I know we've done a big paint party where we did a huge 24 by 36. Sometimes I just want to like have more this size for y'all. But it's hard to, I guess I could do larger ones, just less head count, and it would probably work depending on the space. So yeah, let me know if you've done any Christmas painting yet this month. I mean, I feel like I've been painting Christmas since July, which I really have. We did a bunch of Christmas in July events, so I feel like Christmas has been year-round this year for me. It's been so much fun. It's my favorite thing to paint, and I actually kind of get really sad once the season's done because I just want to keep painting Christmas. I just want to keep painting it, and I have so many cute ideas for next year too that I'm just, it's hard to get them all in, you know. And the church too, this past week we did some churches at a church, and they were, oh my gosh, the way they did it turned out so much cuter than mine. That's one of my favorite things, is seeing what y'all come up with. Okay, so I put a little bit of copper on here. I'm about to go in and add some more. If you would, let me know where you're from, and if you have ever painted a Santa. I would love to know that. And then for those of you that are just joining, for the month of December, I'm giving everybody this ebook. All you have to do is click the link in the comments, or not the comments, the description. I'm giving this away if you're interested in teaching paint parties. If you're not interested in teaching paint parties, I don't recommend it, but you might want to just scan through it. And then also, if you share this video, I'm going to actually pick one person, and I'm going to customize this, paint it for you with your last name. This is not finished. Please don't judge it. It's still in the works. This was one of my examples the other day. So I got to spruce it up, and I'm going to add your last name, whoever I pick. So if you share, make sure you share it right now and then comment shared so I know you did, so I can put you in the drawing. Okay, so now I have a bunch of copper on him. I'm actually going to add copper to the hat as well. I'm just using a dollar store brush and dabbing. Just kind of dabbing it onto the hat. And guys, it is really, when you're painting big paintings, sometimes you gotta work around it. You gotta go from the top to the bottom. But the main thing I suggest when you're working on Santa or Christmas paintings, you have got to have the right red, okay? So this red is a berry red. It works really well, but guys, you cannot use an orange red. I put out, you can see the difference here. I put out an orange red next to a berry red. You just can't do it, cannot do it. Katrina, I'm from East Wenatchee, I don't know how to say that, and never painted a Santa. Oh my gosh, you have to paint a Santa, it's so fun. So much fun. So I'm just kind of dabbing this bright red and copper. And I'll post a picture of when I'm finished all the way. And thank y'all for those of you that share. Just put shared so I know who to enter in the contest. I know it alerts, but just, you know, honor system, make sure you share. Make sure you actually share before you put shared, please. That would be lovely. Okay, I'm gonna take some white. And again, when you're doing giant paintings, sometimes I actually put them on the wall. I'll lean them up against the wall, or because I have this awesome big table I'm so grateful for, my parents gave it to me. And so I just, you know, can like spread out like an entire piece of plywood if I want. Okay, so now I'm taking pure white and I'm going over the copper and I'm dabbing. And you could use an antique white here too. I'm a very, if you hadn't noticed, I'm a very bright color type of person. Oh, thank you, Sylvia, for sharing. Yeah, let me know if you are teaching paint parties too. I'd love to know who is out there. And again, if you're just now watching, I'm gifting this book to everybody, how to teach paint parties. And all you have to do is in the description, there is a link for the book. So that's for everybody. I just wanted to try to do something for all of y'all that are so sweet and share my stuff and watch my stuff. Thank you. So I'm going between copper and white, and I'm just using dollar store brushes. Can y'all see this? Just do it, yes, if you can see. Just want to make sure y'all can see it. I was gonna just paint it and then post a picture, and I was like, oh, it's just so fun to share the process, you know? Because sometimes I think big projects like this can intimidate us, but really, guys, they're not that. I mean, it's just really I know you're like, oh, whatever, Heidi, but for those of you out there, it's really just a few simple lines. And put that on my book. Oh, and this is an e-version, not the paperback. I just have the e-version, so you'll actually have access to instantly download it. Oh, thank you so much, Judy and Sylvia, for sharing. I'll put your name in the hat for the chance to win the personalized truck and tree. So yeah, so I'm taking between white and copper, and I'm probably obviously going to be adding some snow text to that hat. But this background has a mix of a ton of different colors because I just had a blast. I was just throwing water and paint and all kinds of stuff, adding that to it. And if y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm just using dollar store brushes. And if you have not used metallic paints before, let me know in the comments. Do a yes if you have, and no if you have not. Because your world's gonna change if you trust me and you try metallic paints. Your world will change. Years ago, my very first year teaching, I was teaching at a middle school in Florida. And I was teaching art, and the kids, I'd assigned something they had to do. I don't even remember what it was. And this girl brought in her painting, and it was done all in metallics. And I was like, what is this? What is this beautiful thing you've brought me? Like, I was just so excited, and I didn't even really know that I'd never painted with metallics. I painted with all types of acrylic. I had never even knew metallics were out there, I guess. I don't know. I guess, you know, I was in a sheltered world. I don't know. But I just did not know there were metallics. And so I just was like, oh my gosh, not only do you get an A, but you've changed my life forever. And so now I've used metallics ever since. And I love using them at paint parties too. Okay, so I'm just, again, kind of roughing this up. And then I'm going to go back with some kind of black lines and different lines around it too. Just let me know if I start to get out of the screen. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I saw where one of y'all were from. Where are the rest of y'all from? I love seeing where people are from and if they're teaching paint parties. Okay, so we want this to be pretty messy because again, we're trying to make it kind of like a more vintage style Santa. It's not perfect. He's kind of got some beat up places. And then I'm going to go back in with some black, not too perfect, but just a little bit on there to help emphasize. Ooh, Fort Worth. Hey, Amber. Hey, Cora from Ohio. Is this on wood or canvas? Belinda asked. Hey, Belinda. It is a piece of plywood, and it's just the size that you can get for like 10 bucks, 12 bucks at Lowe's. That's already cut in half. And then I just took it, and you can see up close, a lot of the texture is the snow text. So I had done this yesterday, I think, maybe the day before. I just did a background color. And then it's a pretty large piece. But I was actually going to turn it into something else. And then I had kind of a stenciling happening here to make it was kind of like a part of a tree. And my husband walked by and he goes, oh my gosh, are you painting Santa on that? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, look at it. It looks like Santa's face. And I could not tell. It did not look like Santa's face. But now it does. He was like, hey, Tanya. Oh, good, Belinda. I'm glad you like it. Oh, and guys, if you share this video and comment shared, I am going to spruce this puppy up and actually add your last name and pick one person to mail that to as a Christmas decoration that you can put up every year. But yeah, so, you know, when he said, I was like, yeah, that does not look like Santa. But then it got me thinking, because the project I was going to do, which I don't want to say yet because it's a surprise. I have a whole new series that I'm kind of working on just for myself, you know, just for some, you know, I think sometimes we get wrapped up when we're making money with our art that we forget to like just create for ourselves. And so, oh, thank you for sharing, Sherry. Hello. Hey, Karen. Oh, thank you, Katrina, for sharing. I hope I'm saying that. Katrina? I think I am. I hope so. Let me know, Katrina. So I think sometimes, you know, especially when we're artists and we're making money with paint parties or, you know, doing craft shows or whatever the case is, we get so wrapped up in always creating for our customers and always creating the next thing for our events that we just forget to like turn on some music and make something for ourselves. And so this is what one of these is for. Oh, thank y'all for sharing. One of these is for that. And then also what was going to be on here, which I don't want to reveal yet because I would rather reveal it as I'm creating it or have already created it. Because in my head, it looks way cooler than how I can tell you. It's just, you know, I have this vision of how I want these to look. And I just, you know how, and it's so weird, but I don't know if y'all do this, but as artists, and I gotta get on the camera for this one real quick. I think as artists, sometimes we, and excuse my floor, I'm gonna cover it with my butt. Let me see. I don't know if my butt will do it. I'm just wiggling my butt around. It's getting weird. Okay, so as artists, I think a lot of times we forget that, you know, we actually like, it takes a lot, like in our head, we're thinking of stuff over and over. And so it might not look like we're working if we're sitting on the porch staring at a tree, but we really are. There's stuff happening in there when people think there might not be. Just like this kind of guy, you know, I had an idea and I looked at some references, but for the most part, like, you know, you still got to think about it. You got to let it sit for a little while. And that's how that stuff is for me and for this new project I'm doing. And I don't want to reveal it until I have it kind of out of my head. Sylvia says, I filed the ebook but didn't get the book. It says confirm email but no email for you. Okay, did you check your spam folder? I used 2 different ones and neither one worked. Check your spam folder, Sylvia, and if it's still not there, because it should be automatically, send me an email at heidi.easley@yahoo.com and I will for sure get it to you. Because yeah, it should, sometimes it goes in the spam. Guys, those of you that don't know, for the month of December, I'm giving away my How to Throw a Paint Party ebook for free. Sells for $17 on my website. I just wanted to do something nice for y'all, and y'all are always so sweet to watch my lives and be here. So if it doesn't come through, check your spam, and then if you still don't see it, just double check the email that you signed up with, check your spam, and if it's not there, then send me an email at heidi.easley@yahoo.com, and I will send it to you. Phoebe, oh, you're so welcome. Karen, this is so awesome. Thank you. I ordered Be the Colors. What does that mean, Belinda? I ordered Be the Colors. Am I missing something? I might be missing something. Sometimes I do. Is that a book? Okay, so I am roughing this up. Again, some of this is textured, so it's going to be roughed up. And I'm just adding a little bit more black. And then I'm going to go up there and paint the star. And I might add some more colors to this. Maybe a little bit of turquoise. Do y'all think I should add a little turquoise to the beard or leave it more white? What do y'all think? Oh, I love the colors. Oh, thank you. Yeah, should I add turquoise into this beard, do y'all think, or no? Is that a firm no, or is that a maybe? What are y'all thinking? And again, this isn't like I know it's a big painting, but it's really not a hard painting. And this could probably be done pretty simply. I might turn this into one of the paintings for Paint Party headquarters, actually, because it's probably a pretty easy one to make smaller and then have it for a party. So a little bit of white with a little bit of gray. Again, we're just trying to make him a little vintage. Yes, a little turquoise, please do, yes. Leave it white, that's my opinion. I like white, colors are perfect. Awesome, don't mess with perfection. I'm getting some mixed reviews on the turquoise. You know, it might be one of those things where I'm gonna look at it for a few days and see, because you can always keep adding to it, people. That's the fun thing about this. And painting on wood, I do a lot of my parties now with wood, because it's just so, I don't know, it doesn't have any give, which I really love. I love like the just like firmness of it, you know, just the way it is, and see how you can just add the texture and it really just has a cool, kind of a cool look. So if you've never painted on wood before, go to your local Lowe's or even Home Depot, wherever, and just get a piece of the wood. Just go to the section where all the contractors are. Some of them know me up there at our local one, and they're like, what are you making today? You know, because I'm just always in there buying some kind of random piece of wood. Okay, I'm just making this messy. I'm gonna add to the star. Thank you. I just seen the email. Awesome. Yes, it's shadows. Ooh, the turquoise you mean? I am such a turquoise person. I feel like maybe just a hair. This is a Traditions Aquamarine. Oh, and if anybody wants to buy the Truck and Trees, this place called Craft Creations sells these, but you need to tell them in the notes, Texas Art and Soul design, because theirs is a little bit different. I like the tree facing towards the cab. Okay, I'm getting a little crazy. Okay, so if I don't love this turquoise, I can always go back and paint over it. So if I do this and think, what did I do? I could go back over and just paint a little bit of white or some of the copper. Kind of like it. Might as well add a little bit more in here. Some in the hat. Again, when you're painting big, sometimes you gotta move because it takes over the whole place. Yeah, loving the turquoise. What do y'all think? Good on the turquoise? Okay, so I'm gonna use, let me see. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Turquoise is good. You were right. Turquoise is a good idea. Oh, thank y'all. Yeah, it kind of ties into the sides, the reds and the, just all the different metallics. Again, I just had a blast like adding those, and then I just took my fingers. See right there with the, can you see that? This thickness right there. I just took my fingers and like spread all around because I wanted this to have just like a really cool, kind of, you know, just textured feeling. And then I'm gonna use yellow. Oh, like turquoise, I was wrong. Oh, poo. That's funny, Karen. Oh, love it. Thank you, Amanda. Are your kids watching or are they at school? And I'm glad your family is okay. Oh my goodness. I slicked up. Oh, Craft Creations. Okay, if anybody on here remembers Craft Creations, it is a weird spelling. I always tell people, when you are naming your business, do not go crazy. Do not get creative when you're naming your business, because Craft Creations, I love them with all of my heart, but I have told people a zillion times because their spelling is weird, that it is so hard for people to find them. It's Craft, and if anybody knows, if you'll put it in the comments for me, it's C-R-A-F-T and then KREATIONZ.com. Woo, it's a mouthful. So Craft Creations has a very weird spelling. And if you order the truck and tree, just make sure you put in the notes, you want Texas Art and Souls style so that you get that one. But if you want to win it, I'm going to, again, customize this and put your name on it to one person who shares the video. Guys, I need to grab some gold. And then my Christmas present to you that are on this live, if you want the ebook for free, all you have to do is go to the link in the description. I'm using this, and it probably will go to your spam. That's what happens. And so check your spam and then confirm it. Once you confirm your email, then it will send it. Now, this is a great one to help the kind of vintage look, okay? This is another metallic. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. And then I think this is the same color. Glorious gold. Let me make sure. Nope, we have a vintage brass and a glorious gold. I'm going to use both. So let me get my yellow down. I'm going to just put a yellow down first. Can y'all see this? I don't think y'all can. Let me move it. Okay, they're at school. Thank you, and thank you for the prayers. Oh, you're welcome. Laverne, you are so welcome. Yes, that Alaska earthquake, that was insane. I can't believe that happened. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting in the yellow. And the reason I'm doing yellow first is I'm not keeping it this yellow. I'm actually gonna, usually you don't get to sit down on big paintings. And this is the first sit down. Usually it's a lot of standing or walking around it. For those of you, have any of y'all done murals? Let me know if you've ever done a mural. They're some of my favorite things to do. Because I love to paint big. But the reason I'm putting this on first is because I want the gold to really stand out. And a lot of times you just need a base coat first, and then you can add to it. So I could even, whenever I get the gold, I can even probably put some of that into my beard as well. Oh, let me see what the metallic, yes. Is this the same ebook we got with the paint party group? Yes. Nice. I painted a mural in our house many years ago. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, I just kind of like, now that I can paint, you know, we moved so many times. Like, you know, if y'all don't know my story, you know, we went bankrupt and just a bunch of craziness. I think in 7 years we ended up moving. I think we counted. Pixie had moved like 7 times, you know, by the time she was 7, almost 8. It was craziness. And so we just had, you know, a lot of things we were trying to figure out, and we were renting. I don't have a baby wipe, so I'm using my spit. I know it's gross. We were moving a lot, and just, you know, I was so missing just painting on whatever I wanted to paint on, because my husband, he's really good about, like, you know, he's out there. Sorry about that. My husband is really just, you know, he's just really supportive with just letting me paint. And my parents were the same way. Like, they just let me paint on whatever I wanted. And my brothers are really supportive. I mean, all my family is just really supportive of all my painting. And they just like, okay, yeah, paint on it, go for it. And I love that. And so I've been trying to be the same way with Pixie. And if y'all can see behind this wall, it is cracking me up. She has basically dark gray splotches of nonsense on her part of the art studio wall, and it looks like crap. And I'm like, last night I asked her, I'm like, what are you doing over there? And she said, She is so my child. She said, I just wanted some texture, so when I go to paint on top of it, it'll have some texture. And I'm like, looking at my Santa going, all right, it's gonna turn out. She has a plan for it. So I'm letting her do it. But I get like, now that we've been in this place 2.5 years, and I'm so grateful for this house. And it has this huge it's supposed to be a formal dining room, I think, or maybe an extra living room. Well, I turned it into this giant art studio, which I love and am so thankful for. And I just love being able to, I want to paint on something, I just go paint on the wall, or paint something different or paint over it. And it's kind of a mess. It would probably drive most people nuts, but I'm just so happy in here. It makes me so happy. Do y'all have a place like that? For years, I painted on my dining room table. For many years, a very small, could barely hold one of my paintings. And yeah, so just, if you're in a place that's small right now, don't let that stop you. Oh my gosh, please don't let that stop you. Because here's the deal. I feel like, God is so sweet and so kind and so good to us, and he provides, he'll provide for us. And, we waited a long time to have a space this big. And I just remember thinking one day I'm going to have a place, and I just used my dining room table for many, many years, and that's where I painted. And so now that I have this area, it just means so much to me. I've never forgot, how I would just have this much room, and we always had to eat on the couch because we didn't have a table that was ever usable, ever. It just was always my art stuff. And I don't know if that's a good confession to say here on the Facebook Live, that I used my family's dining room table for paint, but hey, you do what you gotta do, right? Okay, so let's see here. I'm very lucky to have a studio room. Yes, and I think too, Amber says, I have a studio, but it's fairly small. Amanda says, I wish. I've done murals on nursery walls for a cousin. Amanda says, everyone should keep their eyes open for paint party. Oh, thank you. Paint party headquarters. Join when the doors are open. It is really awesome and well worth the money. Heidi is amazing. Oh, Amanda, you're amazing. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, so what I recommend is, if you don't have a big space, just find an area. I'm going to use a little bit of this kind of vintage stuff here. And again, those of you that are just joining, if you share, I'm gifting one of these spruced up and painted that will be mailed to you. Just make sure you share. It's the honor system, and then comment shared so I know who to draw from. And then everybody, Merry Christmas, is getting a copy of this. So it's in the description if you want to have a copy, and maybe you're interested in learning how to make some extra money in 2019 with paint parties. So what I recommend is, if you don't have a studio space, a lot of times we have areas in our house that we think we probably couldn't use, but we really could. There's areas in our house that maybe there's not much happening. I mean, you don't need a lot of space to make things happen, but maybe there's an area where you've just kind of neglected. I challenge you to go to a Goodwill or, whatever the case may be, and just find you a little space, a little desk or something that you can do, and just make that your dedicated area. And that way you can always be coming back to it. You don't have to clean it up every time you go to do something. It's ready for you. Thank y'all for sharing. Amber has a studio, but it's fairly small. Shared Belinda and Nancy. Thank y'all so much. But yeah, I just strongly encourage you to try it, because here's the thing, even though it was my dining room table and we were in about 800 square feet, it was a little bitty house, and I was running my paint party business out of that. I mean, it was insane. We were literally on top of each other. But, my husband being so supportive, thank the Lord above, I had a tablecloth on that table, and it was where I made all my paintings. It's where I did all my commissions, and we just worked with what we had. We used, a lot of times I think everybody sets up like a guest room for their 2 guests a year that come up. Is there anybody out there that does that? Like, you set up this whole guest room and people come maybe once or twice a year. Oh, thank you, Natalie, for sharing. Amanda says, I have a card table in the corner of the dining room. My kids embrace it, even though it's tacky. Hey, it does not matter. It totally does not matter. Yeah, but I think sometimes, we feel like we have to wait until this perfect time before we can start creating, or has to be this perfect place to have. I mean, I have, lived in apartments. I've lived in 800 square feet. I've lived in little bitty places where there just wasn't any room. And I think it's, if it's a priority for you, you'll make it happen. And I think it's really important to just thank God for the space you have and try to make the most of it wherever you're at. Because then whenever you're making the most of that and you're actually trying to do something with it versus, well, I can't do anything because this isn't enough. I think we sometimes get into that mentality, and then that is not a fun place to be. I think it's so important to always just know wherever you're at in your place. Like I said, we've had I ran my surfboard business out of an apartment because we had just lost our house, and it was just craziness. But, we just had a will, a way. We knew it was going to be okay, and we didn't let it stop us. And I'm not saying it wasn't hard. It was very hard. It was really hard. But I think, just going through it and knowing no matter what, no matter where you're at, you can still create, you can still make stuff, is a lot of what obviously God, but that's a lot of what got me through all of that, is knowing I could always come to this. Paint on a piece of wood that I found in a scrapyard, or, somebody's backyard that they weren't using. Hey, I can do something cool on that, I think it's just really important to know you can create no matter what, and it can't be taken away from you. No matter how small your house is or whatever situation you're in. And I said this on a live the other day, it was in a cheesy Hallmark movie, and it was saying how, the 2 things that can never change are your passions and God. And I love that so much because, people like to say, oh, family never changes. That is BS. Family changes all the time. It changes all the time. Not saying family won't always be there for you, but family always changes. And so your passion never goes away. I don't know about y'all, but I've been painting since I was 14 when I first discovered how much I loved it. And it is always kind of my safe place I can go to. And the same thing with you, it might be sewing, it might be cooking. One of my artsy friends, she's amazing at cooking. Her name's Alanka, and she is so talented in the kitchen, and I wish I just had a pinky amount of her talent in the kitchen, and my family would be so much more well fed. Instead we're frozen pizza, and it's awful. It's sad. I'm not going to admit that right now, but anyway, it's just, your passions are always going to be there. So no matter what you love, just do it to the best that you can, and know that, let's say you love painting, but you don't feel like you're very talented at painting yet. Practice. Things change. You take classes, you learn from other people. That's just, what you're supposed to do. I can't tell you how many times when I taught art in the school systems, kids who were in 3rd grade would say something like, oh, I just can't do that. And I'm like, well, or even paint parties the other day. I'm like, how many of y'all have ever painted a church on a pallet? None. How many of y'all have ever painted a red truck and tree? None. So why do you expect to be perfect at it the first time? It's all a learning. And I think especially as adults, we forget that we evolve, we change, we learn, we grow. We're almost like those toy Furbies that, they grow and they change with you. And I think sometimes we totally forget that we're gonna grow, we're gonna change. You know, this Santa, when I do this in 20 years, it's gonna be way cooler because I'm gonna have painted for 20 more years and have so much more skill and talent because I didn't give up, because I was consistent and I kept trying. So guys, I think sometimes we just have to remember, like, to keep trying. If it's something you love, if it's something that you're excited about, who cares if it's not that great at first? Like, did you have fun while you created it? Like, you know, I have a blast painting, so that's never going to be taken away from me. And the same thing for you. You know, whatever your passion is, don't let somebody else squash it because they have some kind of fear going on in their head. You know, we all have our own crap. We all have our own stuff, and we all have our own limitations. And a lot of times, the best people, family and friends, can put those limitations on other people without even knowing it. So, sorry about that. I kind of got on the soapbox there. I apologize. Okay, let me know if you are still with me. So sorry. Sometimes I think it's like painting and therapy all in one. I don't mean to. It just happens. Phoebe says, yes, I have a guest room like that and only get a guest once or twice a year. Oh my gosh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you for bringing that back up. So we have turned our guest room, and you know, here's the thing. We're like you. We have guests maybe, I wish I could open this, but I was opening stuff last week and I cut my hand, so I have to do it. Oh, good. You're still here. Good. Hey, from Florida. How is it over there? Yeah, a lot of times we literally will set up this beautiful guest room and we will have guests once or twice a year, and then we sacrifice the way we want to live in case a guest comes over, they have a nice place to stay. I call crap on that. I think, yes, you know, if you have a house and you want people to come stay with you, that's fine. You can set up a little area for them, or we have like a bed that's pushed against the wall, because we turned it's called the art garage. It's supposed to be like a guest suite. Well, we turned it into all of my paint party storage because I wanted the art studio for painting, right? So we, man, I wish I could open this. Beautiful today. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, thank you, Cindy, for sharing. Hi. Oh my gosh, she's awesome. She does shattered pieces. They are really cool. So I cannot get this open, and I really need gold. But anyway, so we took our art garage space and we turned it into Pixie's gymnastics. We have a huge tumbling mat for her in there. It's like this big mat, and then we have all of my art supplies for paint parties, so that I don't have to use my art studio to store all of that, which again, I'm so grateful for. And then when guests come, then we put the bed out. And we just basically put it on we just lift it up and it's leaning against a wall, so that we can use that whole space for all of our family's fun stuff that we want to do. I enjoy that you share. It is so motivating. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I know sometimes I just get to talking and I don't mean to go off. I'm like, oh. So people who have all these guest spaces and you really want an art studio, put the bed against the wall and get a $10 table and enjoy it, you know? And then when you have those guests twice a year, then you can put the bed down. Yeah, I've got to get this gold open because this gold is gonna make all the difference in the world. Okay, I have to use a little rubber hand to open jars. What is that, Lily? Is that like a thing? Do I need to buy that? If so, please post a link, because I have cut my hand open and it's healing. I had a big paint party last week and I was opening all of these metallics because I am not I should be wiping the edges and then putting them on there, but I can't do it. I had a flag just like that, a flag. What did I miss? I might have missed something. All right, I'm gonna add this gold. Once I add the gold, I'll post the picture so y'all can see it. Here it is kind of up close. Again, just two quick things. If you share this video, I'm gonna be picking one person to customize this and ship it to you, truck and tree. And then you can have it for Christmas. And then Merry Christmas to everybody. I am gifting you my How to Throw a Paint Party this month. So it's in the link in the description. You can check it out there. And please share this if you want to be entered in the drawing. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day today. Let me see if there are any questions. My leg got stuck. Do you have a video painting of the church scene on the side of your table? Oh, I'm actually doing that one for Paint Party Headquarters, Belinda. So you'll see it. Smack the side of it on the floor should help. Oh, I will try that, Amanda. I wish I could open the jar for you. I hope your hand will heal very soon. Thank you, Phoebe. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. My studio is in my basement, cement floors or paint. Oh yes, Tanya. That is amazing. Oh, you too. Have a great day. Thank y'all so much for being here. Had a flag with the same Santa. Oh, how cute. Oh, I would love to see that. So it's really big, guys. It's almost as tall as me. It's a giant Santa. Any shade in the face? Yeah, I'll probably add a little bit of shade into his face too. And then I'll post a picture of the complete thing. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.